Hello all. This is a quick video about my experience with cutting tatami using master strikes from KDF. Especially when the medium and what we want to achieve does not necessarily agree. The main source is MS Dresden C487, Ringeck. Illustrations comes from the Goliath, aka MS Germ Court 2020. This is a Zorhn, aka Strike of Wrath. Other than the bit left hanging, it uses up a lot of tatami. Like a fendente montante in Fiore wood. The bit left hanging is partly due to going to plow or going to the plow too early. Regardless, it is enough of a cut to be a major inconvenience. We can have a nicer and tatami saving cut. However, regardless the type of sword, the structure and the shape of the cut starts to depart from what the cut ought to be. It is not a matter of right or wrong but more about what we get out of it. It is clear that in the Zorhn, I stay in the middle rather than slightly X-centered. For the crooked strike aka Krump, the first piece of the manual is sending the point to the wrists. Now according to which manual we use as a reference, we can end up cutting with the short or long edge. Against naked or lightly protected flesh, this is really a moot point. Taking the short edge is as much matter of changing how we hold the sword than rotating it. So regardless how we send the point, it not enough of a difference to really matter as whatever option we use, it will not go through tatami. A shoulder-powered or biomechanically supported Krump will go through tatami, regardless of the edge used. As you can see, this blurs the line between an economical Zorhn and a Krump. As a side note, when using a less nimble sword, we need to make sure that we manage the distance accordingly. In this case, I failed to cut because I am too close. I did not manage the distance so that I hit with the best cutting part of the sword. As well, I probably followed with my right foot too quickly, hence not supporting the strike enough. For the squinter, aka the Shiel, it is relatively straightforward. To avoid giving my intent away, I take the short edge by rotating the sword by the pommel and adjusting my front hand grip. As with the Krump, when using a less nimble sword, we need to make sure that we manage the distance accordingly. In this case, I failed to cut because I am too close. I did not manage the distance in order to hit with the best cutting part of the sword. As well, I probably followed with my right foot too quickly, hence not supporting the strike enough. For the Zwerch, we already know that short edge cuts are very powerful, as demonstrated in the Shiel. Cut-wise, the difference is going to be how far from the center line we finish the cut. i.e., the initial part of the strike is the same. The similitude in the initial part is not that obvious with a simple cut, but it easier to see with the feller from a Zwerch. Tatami cutting-wise, of all the master strikes, the Zwerch is the most sensitive to following up with the right foot too early. The cut in itself will not go unnoticed by an opponent, but it has a potential to damage the sword, unless it is in modern steel. From a test cutting standpoint, as well as delivery, it is not something that we should be satisfied with. When striking with the short edge, the tip decelerate very quickly at the end of the trajectory. When we step too early and when cutting towards the tip, we have a good chance to have the deceleration before the tip has exited the target. The medium can change the blade path and we don't have enough support from our body structure to help the cut, but enough to put strain on the sword. The lower we cut, the more pronounced is the strain on the sword will be.